Now,
I am very, very excited to interview my next guest. This is an interview that I know will be life-changing to whoever watches it. Her name is Dr. Vanessa Atienza-Hipolito. Am I pronouncing it correct?
correct?
And listen to her background: clinical director, specialist of breast imaging and intervention, business owner of women's and breast imaging in Western Australia. She completed radiology training in the Philippines, just so much accolades. But I wanted to focus on, just listen to 2022, three anthologies: Courage and Confidence, What It Really Takes to Succeed. We'll talk about that. Global Girls. Ooh, love it. Find Your Thing. And of course, I have the privilege also being in the book that she just showed, The Power to Rise Above. And thank goodness for Sandy Davies, who gave us this opportunity. And I wanted her to talk about the fourth book. She just recently shared this news. What is it about joy? That's the word you chose for 2023. And as the mother of two, children, a son and a daughter, please share, how do you manage? I was asking her, how do you manage to breathe when you're being a doctor and then you're being a mom and you're being a wife and you're being an author? Please give us some insight.
Thank you for having me today, Karen. I'm really honored for your kind invitation to be in your podcast. And I'm really grateful that we connected through our anthology book project. And thank you for having me. So, as you know, it's not just reading my accolades. I'm sure everyone will be feeling overwhelmed. How do I do everything as a mom, wife, doctor, business owner, and to add to that would be the authorship. So I cannot do everything, but I know I can do anything because I prioritize joy in my life. So my word for the year is joy. The reason why I chose joy is because in when I was younger, I was just focused on achieving survival mode, if you like, and doing everything just to succeed in medicine, in my training, in my on calls and everything. And I was just really drowning with, all the negativity, toxicity in my surrounding and also in myself. So I have a lot of negative self-talk and everything. But as you mature, you realize, you assess yourself, you became aware that it's not sustainable. I beat myself too much for being so busy, not making time for my kids, prioritizing work. Obviously, I love my work, I love my patients, love everything I do, but I have been obviously prioritizing more of my work, trying to get things done, and I tend to not have time for myself and for my family. So I read some books and life-changing books like The Secret, and The Greatest Secrets would be the being self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on the journey of self mastery, if you like, or what do you call this? Self-assessment, self-discovery. And I discovered that the one of the secret would be self-care, self-compassion. And I realized that discovered the power of meditation. So yeah, meditation, I know it's not easy. It's not easy for everyone. I'm still in a work in progress. So I started with 1 minute guided meditations until to 5, 10, 15. So I just build up that. It was my quest to be Number one, instead of being in a survival mode of just being busy and just to be productive and choosing myself first so I can look after others. Because if I'm working too much overtime or even after hours or on weekends, what happens to me? What will happen to my own health and well-being? What will happen to my time with my kids? So it's being it's suffering. It was suffering. So I had a quest of how can I be a better doctor, a better mom, a better wife, and a better person overall. So number one, self-care and self-awareness. And then I now have a habit. It was a progressive habit of meditation, quiet time, prayer, and journaling, exercise. So that's my morning routine. Obviously, I cannot do everything every day, but I try to be aware and, prioritize those non-negotiables. And through that journey, last year, I went really deep dive into self-care and self-awareness and just managing my energy, showing up in a positive energy. And because if I work too much here, after work, because I give my 200%, by the time I go home, what will happen to me? Already
You're depleted,
flat out.
aren't you?
I'm so flat out gone. I'm gone. So before, when I go home, I'm already depleted and tired and cranky. And then kids, problems, issues, or you get so frustrated because your kids didn't do this, that, or whatever. And you just, snap.
Yeah.
And I feel bad, obviously. I beat myself too much for that. And so I said to myself, I gave myself grace. So, Vanessa, how do you handle that? So last year, I made conscious awareness to rest after work. Don't interact with the family. It's just say, good night, bye-bye, kids. I'm just going to rest. I'll have my nana nap, 5, 6 o'clock. And then I recharge. After that, join them for dinner. And they have a happy mommy. Because as you know, a happy mom, happy wife, happy family. So
Yes.
I made a conscious effort, especially last year, to do that. And lo and behold, I've seen the change in my family, my interaction. We became closer, and my positivity resonated to everyone around me, at home and at work. So it was really, really humbling for me to discover that. And my kids not only survived high school or surviving school, but also now also thrived and has been accomplished. So I just going to blow my horn here. Because of that, my daughter, who's turning 12 next month, she just probably absorbed through osmosis, absorbed that energy that I was putting out there. She surprised us in December. She was also surprised that she got the most outstanding student achievement award in year 6 graduation in December. Wow. It was a pleasant surprise. We're so proud parents. It was, my heart was just, beating out of my chest at a proud parent moment when we experienced that achievement for her. So yeah. And then my son now, I think everything very closer now, together compared to before. My son also thrived and excelled at school and sports. And to be honest, yesterday, he's been hassling me. It's summer here, so it's summer break. Kids are on holiday. Okay. So almost every day he's asking me, Mom, when are we going to swim? Oh, why do you want to swim? Well, I just want to swim. I want to exercise, because he doesn't swim with me at all, because I told you before that I swim a lot. I and training a lot. So yesterday was the greatest morning of my life. He woke me up. He was my alarm clock for the first time at 5:45 in the morning. Mom, let's go to the beach and swim. Okay. So we went to the beach just as the sun was rising, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was still chilly because it's very early, 6 o'clock in the morning. We went in the beach, went for a swim. It was cold. Mom, it's cold. Yes, let's just go in. And then we swam. And for the first time, we had a very pleasant swim, clear visibility. We can see the ocean water underneath the floor ocean water. We can see a lot of fishes. We can see the sun rising up to the horizon. It was bliss. Paradise was my place, was his happy place now. And for the first time, I have a swim buddy, a new swim buddy. How good is that?
Share that. Yeah, it wasn't just that you
swim.
swim, but tell what you, I mean, you don't just swim. You did more than swim. Can you share that?
Yeah, okay. So, coming from the Philippines, we don't know how to swim, even though we live in the 1700 islands of the Philippines.
I'm from Hawaii. I've never learned how to swim. And I, when we talked about this earlier, but when I heard, listen to what happened, she just didn't swim. Vanessa,
Yeah.
say what you did.
So, it was more than 10 years ago, or at least when I turned 40, my one of my colleagues here challenged me to do a women's triathlon event for the first time. And I said, what does it entail? Oh, you just swim in the ocean 250 meters, and then you go for a bike for 20K. Okay, I can bike. And then you just do a 10K run. Oh, I can run because I've been doing marathons already at the time. And so, okay, let's do it. And so when I first did the swim training, I realized I don't know how to swim 10 meters and I was drowning and panicking. So I said, oh my God, what have I done? And so when I did my supposedly training in the ocean to building up to that my first ever women's triathlon, I was panicking. I was just didn't know how to swim. I thought I could swim. I did some swim lessons, but it didn't work. It did not work. Maybe it worked, but because of my panic attacks, it did not work. So my first ever try, I did 250 meters backstroke, survival stroke. I finished it, but I was just surviving, and I was the last woman out of the water, but I finished. I did not quit.
Wow, that's an accomplishment right there.
Yes. and finished I was able to catch up with the bike and the run. So I wasn't the last finisher, but I finished it. That was a big accomplishment. Since then, I made the decision I'm going to work on my swim. So since then on, I've done a lot of one-on-one training or group training or online training in swimming until I found my coach. And for 3 years, we worked one-on-one to build up starting from zero, really literally started from zero, basic swimming front crawl. And since then, I've swam open water swim events from 500 to 750 to 1,000 meters to 2,000 meters. And then last year I did my first ever longest endurance swim, Boston Jetty swim, 3.6 kilometers around the jetty from the beach out 2K and then back. So that was me, and also a half Ironman event. So
wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So as a mom, how do you think your inspiration and your perseverance, right? How does that pass on to your children? Or how do we even, because sometimes they just, there's no motivation at all. What do you suggest to parents when you have children who just say, you know what, I'm not going to, do fill
Well, I have a good example for you. My kids, they've been swimming since they're 6 months old.
Wow.
So there are great swimmers. My son, he's a very strong swimmer, and he was also a water polo player.
Mm.
So my daughter, she's not a strong swimmer, but she knows how to swim. So in year 5 or 6, I think, every year they have the swim carnival.
Oh.
And I think there was a period where a week before the swim carnival, she was crying and panicking and stressing about the swim carnival because she keeps telling me, Mom, I don't want to be the last. I don't want to be the last. I don't want to be the last. So I said to her, why are you thinking about that? Why don't you change your self-talk? That's what swimming taught me. So this
Mm-hmm.
is what endurance swim, because when you swim alone, you just have a lot of self-talk, right? You
Yeah.
have to choose the positive self-talk, because if I did not choose positive self-talk, I don't think I'll be where I am now. Anyway, so I said to her, even the day before the swim carnival, you just need to think about enjoying and having fun. Don't think about, I'm going to be the last. Because if you think that, you claim it. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen, right? So and then until the next morning, until I drop her off to school, that's what she keeps telling me. Okay, Mom, I'll follow what you said. I'll just think about the positive and don't do the negativity. And even if your friends are telling you that, just be the light and
Yes.
just tell them, let's just have fun.
I love that.
So she did the swim event. And when she finished the first event, she looked back and said, oh, I'm first.
Oh my gosh, what a powerful
She had a first.
story.
Yeah. And she said, oh my God, I can be first. And so the next event, she had this confidence already in herself, self-belief, that she can do another one and that she can excel again. And I keep telling her this, that don't compare yourself, don't look back.
Yes.
Don't look, because it will slow you down.
Yeah.
Just have fun and just do it. And she did another number one. So she had two number one
Wow.
medals for that event. So and then she was so proud, obviously. And then but after school, after work, we she told me she was so excited. And the first thing I asked her, how'd you do it?
Yes.
Oh, Mom, guess what? All my friends, all my classmates are telling me, I don't want to be the last. I don't want to be the last. And I'm the only one who said to myself, I'm just going to have fun. Just have fun.
That's a powerful mantra, though. And I loved how, can you
Yeah.
share how you're saying positivity is always a choice? And you mentioned some mantras in the Power to Rise Above. What do you think? Because some people, it's just so, it's, it's hard for them to even rewire and consider a positive mantra when you've been, maybe it's ingrained in you, to just think negative, because maybe that's your default, right? A lot of the default
Yeah.
is, and then maybe the criticisms that they've heard or the experiences that they've had. How what do you think are simple mantras that could work for someone who's just starting the journey to, like affirmations and meditation?
It's not easy. It's a process. You just need to be, it's a quest of self-awareness. You need to be mindful of what is your self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you thinking? And even in it's okay to think negative thoughts, but being aware is important. Okay, I'm having this negative thought, and then you have to give yourself grace and practice self-kindness and forgive yourself for thinking that thought. And then, okay, I have this thought. What do I do next? So you choose the next best thought. And it's not always easy, but it's a process, and it takes a lot of practice and habits to do that. I did not do it in just one instant. I'm still a work in progress. So I just try to make it as a priority, and I put it on my phone to remind me. I have a lot of mantras in my calendar that would be alarming every hour, I think, or every 2 or 3 hours, to just remind me that it's okay, I'm okay, all is well, And then I can just, think about choosing joy and be happy. It's not about being toxic positivity,
Yes.
because that's not what it means. It is just showing up every day with a positive shift or mindset. For example, if you have a crisis at home or in the family or at work, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? Instead of, it's like loving your obstacles, and it's
Yes.
telling you, okay, you have to pause. What is it telling you? So for example, I told you last week, that's why we rescheduled. I wasn't well. And so what is it telling me? What can I learn from this? What are the signs of this? What is it telling me? That I have to pause and give myself grace, because I must be working too much and just need to pause.
Like
Something
giving
like
yourself
that.
permission, right? Because I think a lot of
Yeah,
us,
giving
I don't know if
shit
it's just a
permission.
mom thing that you just think, well, you know what? I don't have
Yeah.
time because I have to do this, this, and this.
No,
And then we
I
feel
don't have
worse.
time.
Yes.
I don't have time, but I can make time. And I
You
can
have
make
to
time
make
and
time.
prioritize.
Yes.
Choose to be joyful. Choose to make time for your family. Choose to make time for self-care, and choose to make time for exercise. I cannot do exercise every day now compared to before, but I just make a conscious choice and put it in my calendar to swim as much as I can, once, twice, or 3 times a week. I'm lucky if I can swim 4 times a week. But yeah, just swimming this morning just
Wow.
made my day. It just made it my day. You're set up for the day to be in the positive endorphins.
Yes.
It gives
Yes.
you the happy hormones. It's just magical to just do the swim, choose the joy, just my happy place, swimming in the pool on the ocean, just feeling the sun rising up the horizon, knowing that you're the less than 1% of the population doing it. It's just happiness.
Wow.
It's just
So,
having the positive mind shift.
that positive mind shift, yeah, that is the secret. But what do you think? Like a lot of us, and I've been reading that, most people wake up and the first thing they think of is that endless to-do list or the problems
Yeah.
that they need to solve. How do you,
I've got
it
something
does,
there.
yeah, yes, it's awareness. But what happens
Yeah.
when, because sometimes before awareness, you're in it, you are immersed in that black
Yeah.
hole of despair or challenges, right? Any secrets to that?
Yes. Sit up, write in my journal, I surrender. I surrender to you, Lord, my day. I surrender to you, Lord, my patience today. I surrender to you, Lord, my family. I know I have a busy day every day, so I surrender my patience. I surrender my procedures. I surrender my team. I surrender
Wow.
my referrers. For example, I surrendered today this podcast interview so that I can be of service to you and to your listeners.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I think that's what we forget sometimes because we're so caught up. We were talking earlier about the shoulds and what should I need to do this? I need to say this. I don't want to disappoint my children. I bet do they notice, your son and daughter notice the major shift from what mom used to be prior to self-care and who you are
Yeah.
today?
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. So I told you this last year that there was one time that my son wasn't well, and he's 15 now, so he's big, and you know um trying to be a man, and has been ignoring mom for mm, ever since he's been in high school. Is trying to put a wall, because I don't need your mom. I know what I'm doing.
Yes,
Teenagers.
teenagers.
So when the time comes that I have to look after him because he wasn't well, and one night went to his room and just said to him, I think we need to have a chat. I just thought I'd give you an opportunity to tell you that I'm sure you've noticed that trying to be not a cranky mom, but to be a happy mom. And I think you will notice that instead of mom coming home angry, because I don't want to be an angry mom, you will notice mom is going to her room, recharging. And so when you see mom during dinner, you have a happy mom. And he said, I noticed that. What do you think? Oh my God. I'm glad that he was so grateful, appreciative of the shift in mom's energy. And also I told him that I think you'll notice that I don't tell you off anymore about your use of the gadgets and everything, especially in the weekends. And I'm sure you'll notice that I don't pressure anymore with your schoolwork or anything. I just let you be responsible of your schoolwork and your house chores. Oh, yeah. I didn't notice that, but yeah, I've noticed now. And so he had a light bulb moment, and I'm sure also you noticed that I'm not pushing you to be who you are, to be a doctor or whatever, and I just want you to be happy and choose the career or whatever you don't, even if you don't know at this moment, just choose whatever you want that gives you joy. I think you'll notice that. And you know what? He just had tears.
Oh.
And he felt so relieved that after I said to him, I'm sure you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, but I don't think you need to do that because I'm not giving you the pressure. I'm just giving you the choice now to do what you want. And I just want you to be responsible because I know you're doing great at school and you're doing great in sports and music. He plays the flute in he's part of their orchestra. He plays beautifully. He's musically also inclined. He's a musician, and so I already know that you're excelling in all aspects, and I don't need to punish you. I don't need to be a cranky mom. I don't need to tell you off what to do, not to do, whatever. I just want you to be responsible, and I know that you're responsible, so I let you do what you want. I remind you, but reminding you in a nice way, not as a cranky, demanding, pushy helicopter mom.
That is the key though, because I think it's so difficult to trust that things will be okay, especially during the challenging years, because well, you were lucky, the grades, the sports, but some parents, they just like, what do you do when things are not going well? Maybe they just are going through emotional challenges or they just don't, we all lose motivation. And sometimes the stress is so much that their brains are still growing, that
they're excelling at school, but they're still subjects that they're not excelling. So we just support them with that and just ask him, well, how can we support you? Do you want us to talk to your teacher? Do you want us to organize a tutor? So he had some tutoring before because he was struggling in some subjects. So we try to be we always supportive, make time for those conversations, how we can support him. And if he's needing help, we just give him the opportunity to ask help. And I'm grateful now that we're closer than before. He's now reaching out to me, talking more to me, and he's so just, loving and a great brother as well, looking after the sister who's because we both go to work, and now he's the babysitter. So he's the one who's cooking breakfast for her, cooking lunch for her when we're both at work. So I'm very proud mom.
Wasn't it interesting? It's when you chose joy, when you learned to let go, and when you just decided, you know what, I'm going to trust my child's journey, because sometimes the reins are so tight because it's hard to trust. You wonder, wait a minute, I need to supervise. I need to, You think it's because you put joy first and self-care? How did that transition?
I think they are seeing me as a role model now. They can see,
Yes.
they're resonating now, they're relating, and they can absorb through osmosis the positivity, and they're noticing, they are watching. And so when I'm also still having adult tantrums, you know.
Like we all do.
So
Yes,
when
please share. That's a great way to end. How do we handle adult tantrums? Because as a mother, you think, "Oh my gosh, I'm a, poor example. I have a hard time practicing grace." But yeah, tell us, how do you do that? Because we all need
well,
to know.
there's one story when I was having adult tantrums, and um because I've listened to a lot of guided meditation almost every morning with my daughter. So there was one time I was having adult tantrums. I was really in a bad mood and was shouting and, mad at everybody. And she just um we were just in the room, and she just said to me, "Mom, I think you need an unstressed hug." And then when she hugged
Oh,
me, she said to me, "All is well, Mom." Oh my God, I just melted. You know why? Because the guided meditation that we listen to every day is from Gabby Bernstein's YouTube, All Is Well. And
I've
it's
heard that one and it just resonates because doesn't it just melt away the stress that no matter what is happening, all is well?
and we listen to that for the past 18 months almost every
Wow.
morning. I listen to it every morning, but he can she can hear it when we're getting ready for school. So yeah, I listen to it every day, and it just shifted my life. It has changed my life. It's just reframed everything in my life, and I feel that it has been magical for me. It's life changing to just have that reset, reframe that all is well. We're okay.
That is
I'm
so
okay,
beautiful. Yes, because sometimes you feel
and
like
it's okay.
it is okay, but I think sometimes you're like, it's not okay. What's going to happen? I need to fix. And then you get
No,
into that spiral. But just that, like you said, that pause and that gentle
yeah,
reminder. Oh, I can just
that we're still
visualize that
okay.
moment. Yeah. And what a great
It's beautiful.
reminder that your daughter gave you.
I know it's humbling. They listen. They are
They
watching.
do. They do.
And then whatever energy you give out, it's what you get. That's why when everything's happening and crazy, it's all it's all about what's in here. That's why I am making conscious effort to work on to do a lot of deep dive inner work. If not for that, I don't know where I will be
Well, I
today.
love what you said, though, osmosis. We don't realize that they feel our energy and they express our energy. And if we remain
Yes,
calm in the midst of chaos, life
yes,
changing, right? Life changing impact.
100%. When you're
Wow.
angry all the time, they will be angry back at you.
Yes.
But if you're loving and positive, supportive, role model, positive self talk, positive reinforcement or appreciation, gratitude mindset, state of grace, it just
You're in the
resonate back
flow.
to you. It mirrors back to you, not only to your family, but also to your friends, to your network, and at work.
What a powerful way to end. One last question. If you just had one mantra, I love that all is well. What would you suggest? You have quite a few in the Power to Rise book.
I have a lot. What do I
And
suggest?
yeah, just if you had to just choose one.
Ah, joy is a choice.
Ooh,
That's my
perfect.
mantra this year. Joy is a choice.
Joy is a choice. I'm writing that down in my journal. I think,
You
thank you
can get
so
that from my socials. You can
Yes,
feel free to share.
I will share that because I think we don't realize it is a conscious choice.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I truly appreciate
Thank
it. I
you.
know that you're really busy, so taking the time to be here means a lot to me, and I'm sure we'll keep in touch.
It's a pleasure, and thank you so much for having me. Have a good
You
day.
too. Take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.